An earlier question, Russell, that Jim has asked, can you duplicate overdue emails or duplicate and then adjust details as required?
I'll take the notes. I'd have to check with the development team on that one. At the moment, you can't, but
Yep.
I'd just have to see where we're up to in our grand scheme of things to do that. But currently, you can't duplicate email overdue notices.
So another question that's been asked, Russell, is how do I remove a resource box that's no longer required?
Okay, that's basically a question for the cataloging area. So it's a cataloging menu, resource boxes. And you click on the resource box that you don't require anymore. And you can remove all the items. Just click remove all. Once you remove all the items, you'll be left with just a container. I'll go back to my resource boxes area. Some of my other resource boxes down here, such as the Year 7 resource box, it's currently got nothing in it. So I could then just weed that particular box. And that would then remove it.
Thanks, Russell. On a similar topic, Lorraine has asked, can I move one resource box from one to another?
As in the contents, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
I don't believe so. I think I'd have to look at that, take that notice, but I think you'd have to remove them from one, then scan them into the other.
Okay, right. We'll take that one on
notice.
Yeah. So there's also been some LearnPath questions. So Karen has asked, can LearnPaths that we download from the community be modified?
Absolutely. It's just, it's exactly the same as if you create it yourself. They're completely modifiable by you.
Fantastic. So the other thing that has been asked, I think, is can we browse the LearnPath Hub for guides? Russell, did you want to?
Yeah, yes, it's the LearnPath guides area is searchable. So when you click on the LearnPath Hub, it's searchable. So you'd have to search for particular topics. For example, I searched for Russia. I'll search my name as well. Russian Revolution shows up. For search for something a little different. Type in a couple of letters. So you type in a couple of letters and it shows you other things that we put in there. There goes another one. Looks so our college has put that up. That's been put up by a college. So it's actually searchable by who put it up there. So there's some new content. I haven't seen that content before. That's brand new. So there's no browse. It's just searching. So when you type in letters, you need to actually know a topic or something that you're looking for. So JO found John Marsden, an author's name, a publisher's name, but the publisher and actually part of the title. So there's no browse to show them all. But once you do get some results, they are filterable. So if you found some which had lots of entries, you can narrow the results down. You could say maybe K to 12, and there's nothing for John.
Okay, great. Thanks for that. So, Russell, groups are mentioned in the reporting section, but someone missed it. Is it possible to go over that again?
Could you just, what was that topic again? Sorry,
in reporting section, borrower.
Yep. Reporting section. Yep. Circulation borrowers.
Yep.
Group was mentioned. Groups are also known as role classes.
Mm-hmm.
So in the overdue notices area, when we looked at the letter to parents, one of the overdue notices, it actually said group equals 7A. That's the name of the database field behind the scenes. So when the data was transferred from one system to another, instead of having the selection saved as it is now for 10RB, it would have said group equals 10RB. So the word group, if I'm getting the question correct, is just referring to the role class.
Okay, thanks.
Hopefully that answers the question. Apologise if it doesn't.
Thanks, Russell. Chloe missed how you went to page layout to move the series builder. I think there's a few people with page layout access issues, which we may, we're taking note of all the chat questions and we may need to follow up later on.
Okay, no problem. The page layout is located in the system menu, so you need to be on the management screen to start with. So from the system menu on the left-hand side, there is an option called pages, referring to page layouts. And when you first click on there, it'll actually just say turn on. You click on turn on, and the turn on turns to turn off. Page editing stays turned on your computer until you turn it off or until you log out. And a little trick with the page editing, I've turned mine on now because it says turn off. If we went to something like cataloging and resources, depending on the screen that you're on, sometimes you might just scroll a little further down. Depending on the screen layout, you might scroll a little further down. You can see on this particular screen, looking at the details of the record, I can't see the page layout at the bottom of the screen. But if I scroll down a little using the scroll bar, change the layouts down the bottom there. So sometimes I might just scroll down a little further to find the layout button. And if you want to turn it off, you can simply go back to the system menu, go back to pages and click turn off. But page editing will turn off when you log out of Oliver. Any changes you make to page layout will affect everyone in your Oliver system, not just you. And they'll take effect straight away. So as soon as someone goes to a screen that you've changed, they'll see the page layout change straight away.
Great. Thanks very much, Russell. So Monica's asked, by turning off the series label in parameters, does this affect the series information as well, or just the large label? Just the large label. Great. There was a few questions about copyright with LearnPath as well. So obviously, if you've got something that you're entitled to use, a chapter, a book, etc., but you're not sure about sharing it, that's probably not a good idea to share it. Russell, you had some tips on image use, is that right?
With image use, in the example I gave, under books and authors, the one that I set up a Matthew Riley site, I actually put in the image source. Whenever I use an image, I mention the source where I get it from. Of course, it's best to get from sources such as Creative Commons where appropriate, where possible. And any content I put up there, including some information such as the awards that Matthew Riley got, I actually just cite where I put it at the bottom of the screen. I'm not a copyright lawyer. I'm not a copyright expert, but I have made all efforts there to cite where I got the information from. Be very careful with images. Again, I didn't contact Matthew Riley directly to use his image. I sourced that from the Honest Readers website, which is where I got the link to read them in order. And so, yes, with copyright, be very careful with copyright. Make sure you contact the source where appropriate, where possible. And if in doubt, don't show it.
I think someone also asked, is it able, with the guides, can you credit the author of the guide? And you can definitely, I think when you're uploading things to the hub, you have the option to kind of keep your name anonymous or put your name on it. Is that right, Russell?
I'm not sure on that one. I have to check. I have to check on that one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, but anyway, we'll have a look into that. But certainly, by all means, if you'd like to put your name on it, you can either do that on the guide itself, or I believe when you're uploading it as well, you can make a choice of how much information you put when you upload that guide. It's actually all pretty new for us as well. This the LearnPath Hub. We're pretty excited about the content that's growing quite quickly, and I imagine there'll be lots of changes to that area as well as we continue to get your feedback and to get the users' feedback. Now, someone Deb has asked Russell on a different topic. What is the difference with resource box and collections?
Good question. A resource box allows you to learn things as a group of resources together. A collection is a physical location in your library. So the junior fiction section, non-fiction section, teacher reference collection, etc. They're physical locations in your library. And we attach this information to our resources so that when people find a record in their search results, they know where to find it. So on our search screen, if I do search for something, say Anzac, see something's in the senior fiction collection or it's in the junior non-fiction collection. So it tells you physically where the item's located. And the collections are also useful when you're getting some search results together. You can use your links on the left-hand side, your facets or your filters to narrow the results down. So if you just want to see the senior fiction Anzac resources, we could simply click on senior fiction and narrow it down by collection or where they're physically located. So collection is a a physical a description of where something is physically located. Now, resource box, on the other hand, if we go to the cataloging area, look at resource boxes. Resource boxes allow you to gather resources together and put them in a container. So the Teach Resource Box and Dinosaurs. So this Teach Resource Box and Dinosaurs has a large number of items in it. You can see the titles listed there. And what this means is, from a circulation point of view, if somebody loans the actual container of items, so that copy barcode, if I scan that barcode into circulation, all the items inside the box would also be lent out to the borrower. So it's basically a bulk loan. It keeps all the resources together. So what it means is when the box is returned, circulation desk asks if everything is in the box or if you want to check the items in individually to make sure the items came back. Resource boxes are also useful if you take something out of resource box and loan it out to someone. It says, hey, this is part of a box. Do you want to loan it individually? Which you can. And the same applies to when you're returning items. If you return an item, it says, hey, this is part of a box. Do you want to put it back in the box? So resource box is a circulation function, which allows you to loan out items in bulk and keep them together, and most useful when you reuse the box again and again and again. So if you always want to keep the resources together or keep them together a lot of the time, it's very handy to have resource boxes. Some people use them for topics such as dinosaurs. Some people use them for things like atlases, a set of atlases or a set of dictionaries or novels. You might lend out the whole class set of novels to a teacher as a resource box instead of lending out individual items. It just helps keep them grouped together. It also means when you're searching, if I search for, say, the ABC Book of Dinosaurs on the search screen, you look at a particular title and you look at its availability, it actually tells you it's part of a resource box. So instead of looking at the shelf, you know that it's part of resource box. That's quite handy as well. Okay, I hope that answers the question about resource boxes.
So Russell, there's a couple more questions, if you're all right to keep going.
Absolutely.
Lucy's asked, in browse lists, can you remove some of the existing lists?
Great question. In the browse list, absolutely you can. On the browse list screen, in the top right-hand corner, it's an option called Show List Editing. With the Show List Editing button, you can edit the layout. And when you edit the layout, it shows you all the items, so you can actually change the order they're displayed in. So one thing you do is to change the order. So I might pop it at the top, perhaps. So you can change the order. Also, when you're looking at the browse list, and you can edit them. So if you didn't want highly rated to show, you could click on Edit next to highly rated on the left-hand side, and you could hide it. So it wouldn't be seen anymore. And that it's then watermarked out. And any that you create yourself are deletable. So if you want to create your own list, you could add your own custom list. Let's say Treehouse series, and I have a custom list called series equals Treehouse books. Actually spell it correctly. And we'll save that. And right down the bottom is my Treehouse series. And again, I could remove that, edit it, or change the order it's displayed in by editing the layout and moving the Treehouse stories higher up the list. So any lists which come with all of the default lists, such as popular, new items, etc., they can be hidden. Any list you create yourself can be deleted. The hidden list still shows for us as an administrator, but others who don't have the rights to change the layout won't see that list at all. And you might even choose to move it towards the bottom of the screen so it's out of your site as well. When you finish making changes, you can simply hide the list editing, and those buttons and the hidden ones will disappear from view.
Great, thanks very much, Russell. So I think we've got one more question that we might try and have a crack at.
Sure.
Chris, it's a hardie, Russell. Got a hard one for last for you.
Thank you. Great.
So we maybe not. We have a genreified collection for fiction. Can the search screen be adjusted to show which genre the book can be located in?
On the search results screen. Okay. So I'll just do a search again for Anzac as an example. On your search results screen, the genre image is shown. So when you attach genres to your resources, and when you import records from SCIS, some of them have genre information attached to them. And in the genre authority file, you can assign your own images to these genres. In this case, you can see hover over War Stories genre items. If I click on that record, I can see War Stories has a genre image next to it. If I go to the management area, I go to authority control. I can open up the genres area. Under subjects, go across to genres. And War Stories is towards the bottom, so let's go to the end. There's War Stories, number 81. When I click on that, I can see the image that is shown. If you'd like to adjust the image, you can either upload your own, maybe to match the genre stickers or images that you've got in that area, or you can choose from a list that we've made available. So when you click choose, they're alphabeticalized, so you can see the images that we've got to choose from, but otherwise you could upload your own images and they will be resized. So whatever image size you choose will be resized accordingly. And the same, while on the same question with your genres, they have images shown, and as do your reading lists. So if we open up the lists area and search for something like, let's browse through them actually, and something like Halloween. See, Halloween's got an image attached to it. And again, when you edit a reading list, one of the fields you can choose is which image you like, so you can actually choose a file accordingly. And on the search screen, when you click on reading lists, under special occasions, you can see the Halloween reading list has been resized accordingly. So the genre image can be changed just on your search results, and the reading list image can be changed as well.